Hello and welcome back.
Hold on.
Oh, my bad.
Let me get this shit straight real quick. One second. We'll do like a little soft little 3, 2, 1 type of thing. So we'll both be looking at the camera and shit. Let's make sure we're good. You in the frame. You can scoot over a little bit. All right. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. I'm Crittenden along with Dimitri Chen, and you may not recognize this setting, but you should recognize this video as this is our annual weekly pregame show that will preview Georgia State sports and everything else that has to go on in the world of sports. We will be talking more this year about just the world of sports in general. Everyone loves sports. It's good conversation starters. So whatever you guys want to talk about, make sure you write us. Let us know what you want to hear on this show. But for today's show, we'll be discussing the mega deals that have occurred in the NFL the past few days. Aaron Rodgers and Odell Beckham Jr. have both gotten paid. Big bank. Big bank. Odell Beckham Jr. recently signed a 5-year, $95 million extension with $65 million of that guaranteed. Now, we'll talk about Aaron Rodgers in a second. But, Dimitri, as a Giants fan, tell me how do you feel about this deal? Do you like it? Does he deserve the money?
Do I like it, Christian? I'll tell you what. I actually love this deal, and I'll tell you why. Odell Beckham has been extremely productive throughout his career in the NFL. Although he got injured last year with a bum ankle, prior to that, he was pretty productive. Had a few drops, but if you look at his resume, I mean, the guy is undeniably one of the best receivers. In my opinion, I think he's a top 3. Some would say, he's maybe a top 5, but I think he's a top 3 receiver.
Doesn't matter. He's one of the best.
He's one of the best, exactly. So, as I said, I really think that, the Giants, they did a great job by taking care of him before the start of the season. Obviously, that could create some issues there as far as focus goes. But, he deserves every penny, man. Every penny. I know Stephen A. Smith, I know he thinks that, he should not have been paid more than Antonio Brown, which is totally debatable. But all in all, I think the Giants did a great job with that guaranteed contract there.
And to that point, he's only the highest paid until the next guy.
Exactly.
Until the next guy gets a deal. So and then people were saying that with Matthew Stafford last year when he received this deal and he was the highest paid player in the NFL. Well, he's not now. He's the third highest paid in his division, and that's a segue to Aaron Rodgers, who just received a 4-year, $134 million extension with over $100 million guaranteed. He's gonna make $80 million by March of 2019.
He's balling. Let's just say he's balling. He is balling. And he deserves it as well. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is in some's opinion the GOAT. So as Stephen A. Smith says, I'll give him credit for this. He is a bad man, and he deserves that bad check. That big boy check. I definitely think, Aaron Rodgers, that was a smart thing to do by the Packers, and it looks like he'll be able to, retire with the team that he got drafted to.
Yeah, he has 2 years left on his current deal, so when it's all said and done, he can make close to $180 million from this deal. He'll be close to 40 years old, so he'll, like you said, probably retire. And without him, they are nothing. He makes their team, he makes them better. Last year, he went out with a collarbone injury. They missed the playoffs. This year, they're going to be back in contention for not only the division, but possibly the Super Bowl. Yeah. That's how good he is every year, year in, year out. Without Aaron Rodgers, there is no Green Bay Packers.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you there on that one, Christian. It was once again a smart move by that organization to make sure they have their quarterback for the now and, I guess, in a sense, the future, the next 4 years at least. So, great signing great extension there by the Packers.
All right, the last preseason games will be this weekend. So the season kicks off September 6th, the Atlanta Falcons versus the Philadelphia Eagles. So stay tuned for more on that. But we're going to go from the football field to the baseball diamond. Yep. Talk about the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, the Braves. There are a lot of followers on my Twitter timeline that give me a hard time when I discuss the Braves and the Atlanta fans' loyalty to that team. But I will say this: they are really doing well as an organization. Those young guys they have there, I mean, they're unbelievable. Some of the best in the league right now. So they are playing extremely well. Baseball, Snicker, he has those young guys really focused, and then you sprinkle in, the veterans and Freeman and Markakis. I mean, the Braves are really rolling right now, Christian.
There was some speculation as to whether they'd be here this late, and first place in the AL East by 4.5 games over the Philadelphia Phillies. And they've, despite being young, despite the questions about the rotation, they've excelled.
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
have really been on a tear and led behind their star, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah.
That dude can play some baseball.
He definitely can. I mean, like you said, the Braves, 4.5 games up in the NL East, and it's not all, but mainly because of Acuna Jr. I mean, the stretch that he had against the Marlins, prior to that controversial hit by pitch,
which was garbage, but
very garbage. He's been rolling, hitting those home runs in the first inning, getting that team out to a great start. It's always easier on the pitcher when your offense gets rolling in that first inning. So
right, definitely,
he's hot.
He has 21 home runs this season. 4 of those home runs have come in the first inning. 6 have come in the 7th inning or later. So not only is he getting it done at the top in the first inning, he's getting it done late in games as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what more can you ask from a young buck, right?
Right.
I know Snicker is very, pleased. But I do believe that, 1, they will clinch the NL East, and 2, the only way that they will go far in the postseason is if that rotation, continues to strengthen and stays consistent. I mean, that's key, with any success of a baseball team, right?
Yeah, and then they brought up some young guys like Tuki Toussaint to kind of help out.
Let's go, Haiti.
Foltynewicz, he has been a guy who has been excellent this season. So we'll see if those young arms. I made a mistake. 6 home runs in the first inning for Acuna Jr., so excuse me on that one. But regardless, the dude is a baller. Now to another team. Big ballers, big money, the New York Yankees.
Yes.
They are on the tear right now.
Yes.
They're starting to make a run in the NL East. We thought it was over with.
Yes.
We thought Boston was going to run away with it, but the Yankees said not so fast.
Yeah, well, to your credit, Christian, I really do hope that the Yankees are, pressing the pause button on the Red Sox clinching the AL East. But I will say this. The Yankees also need to, strengthen that rotation. Sonny Gray, we got him from, the Oakland Athletics, but he hasn't really produced. He hasn't produced.
He got most of the bullpen.
Yeah. So he definitely has to step it up. And anyone that knows me knows that I'm a diehard Yankees fan.
He is. They go to war for his Yankees.
I will. But I also tell the truth, and I'm not biased. So they do have some work to do. We need to get Aaron Judge back in the lineup. Gary Sanchez as well. And like I said, that pitching has to definitely improve throughout this last stretch of the season.
All right, so on today, August 29th, it is 6:41 p.m. Dimitri Chen, I'm going to ask you, will the New York Yankees win the AL East?
Well, Christian, as much as I would like for them to, I'm going to say no. They won't, simply because the Red Sox are just, a different animal right now, as much as that pains me to say. But if you look at the schedule, the Yankees are in prime position to, win the AL East. But like I said, in order for us to do so, the Red Sox have to lose, and they aren't doing that often. So, it's going to be tough.
They're a machine. I mean, they're at one point where they were 50 games above 500.
Yeah, that's saying something there. So.
That is saying something. All right, that is it for baseball. Make sure, again, if you want to talk more baseball, make sure you write us in with your questions. Now we're going to talk some college football.
Yep.
It started last week, but everyone gets going this week. All the big dogs, all the big horses get rolling this week. Georgia State will open up with Kennesaw State tomorrow, August 30th. That will be a pretty big game. Yeah,
definitely. There's been a lot of chatter going on Twitter. Shout out to Ben Moore, the #1 inside source for Georgia State athletics. Really good guy, but he's been battling with some Kennesaw State fans. And
boy, I mean, Ben, you are a soldier, man, because he hasn't backed down one bit.
Yeah,
they've been coming in his missions.
Yeah, absolutely. And, he has a great reason for going to battle with those Owl fans. They are very loyal to their team. They came off a very strong season in the FCS. But Georgia State, as we all know, is coming off a very, very excelled year. You know, they won their first bowl game, and they actually are looking to continue that stretch.
Yeah, 7 games, the most in school history. Like you said, the Cure Bowl victory. It'll be interesting to see. They replace a lot. They lose a lot on defense. They lose a lot of defensive starters. Pretty much all of the secondary, pretty much all the starting secondary, minus Jerome Smith is gone. They lost Julian Laurent, McKinney Chirador. So they're going to have to replace a lot of them. They do bring back a couple guys like Chase Middleton.
Yeah, Chase is
Allen, but
absolutely.
Besides those guys, it's going to be kind of young defense.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a young defense. You know, Jerome Smith, you know, he's definitely going to have to play big back there in the secondary, which I think he will.
He's a very good corner.
Yeah, very solid corner there. And as you mentioned, the defensive line, you know, they don't really have any, I guess, established players, although they do have a freshman nose guard, Akeem Smith. He's a very big guy. I think he'll be able to contribute in a sense to Georgia State's defense. But I like the linebacker corp. I like Ed Kearney. He's a prospect out of the Atlanta area. He went to Carver High School. He stepped up and played really well last year. And as you mentioned, Chase Middleton is still there leading the pack. So they'll you know, hopefully hold it together there.
On offense, we all know about number 18, Penny Hart, the best player, maybe the best offensive player in the Sun Belt.
Yeah.
Definitely the Panthers' best offensive player. He's going to have a new person throwing the ball to him now. Dan Terry's Ellington, transfer from Itawamba Community College in Mississippi. Coach Elliott named the other day. He will be the starting quarterback. Dimitri, and he lit it up in JUCO, man. He averaged over 300 yards per game. I talked to his offensive coordinator last week. He said at 5 times they ran over 95 plays a game.
Wow.
And there were several times they ran 75 and they dialed it back. So Dan definitely is used to running a lot of plays, getting them checked in and out of plays, and he watches a lot of film, which is going to be key for the Panthers this year. Yeah,
absolutely. As you said, you know, over 300 yards passing on average. Last year he finished with over 3,000 yards passing, you know, on the season.
Right.
3,211 to be exact, and he also threw 27 touchdowns. So definitely a dual threat quarterback that the Panthers have probably never seen before in their program. Of course, Nick Arbuckle, he was a pure pocket passer, but you insert Dan Ellington and you have a dynamic, you know, quarterback that could tuck it and run and also, you know, play the pocket very well. So Penny Hart, you know, his name is Penny, but the guy is more like $1,000 for the Panthers offense. I expect him to run crazy or, you know, do very, very surprising things tomorrow night against that young Kennesaw State secondary.
Not only tomorrow night, but this season. I mean, this is going to be a real big season for Penny. I'm not a foreshadow or anything, but if the dude balls out this season, who knows? He may test his hand at the NFL. Dimitri, right now, give me a prediction for tomorrow's game.
So for tomorrow's game, I definitely think that Georgia State will break this I guess you can call it a terrible streak that they're on as far as home openers.
Definitely in a funk when it comes to home openers.
Yeah, obviously last year, you know, they lost the season opener to Tennessee State, a team that they definitely should have beaten. But I think they will handle business tomorrow night and get rolling on the right track. Coach Elliott has simply set a foundation that seems, you know, to be unwavering right now. He's all business, no games he's playing. So I think Georgia State will win. The score, in my opinion, will be 27-14. I'll give Kennesaw State 2 touchdowns. I'll give them 2 touchdowns. How about you? What you thinking?
It's gonna be a battle. I think Kennesaw State has some talent. You know, the Atlanta area. Georgia's good for football. They have some Georgia prospects on their team, so can't sleep on them. They had a pretty good year last year. They returned some players on offense, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is a battle. A young Panthers team in a lot of areas. So I'm going to go 28-21. I think Georgia State will win the game, but it's going to be